Congrats! You just stumbled upon the curious and quizzical silk floss tree, found here and elsewhere on campus. Notorious for its bumpy, spiky trunk, weird avocado pod-like fruit, and pretty pink flowers, it's hard to miss. This silk floss tree comes with quite a tale. According to storytellers in Bolivia, the Torobochi tree, or tree of refuge, once sheltered the beautiful wife of the god of the hummingbird, Aravera. According to the legend, the world was very new, and Aravera was pregnant with her first son. Back then, the Anya, or spirits of darkness, liked to abuse and murder humans. They knew that Aravera's son was prophesied to bring about their downfall, so they plotted to murder Aravera before her son was born. Luckily, the god of the hummingbird gave his wife a flying seat. With this, she escaped from the Anya and hid in the Torobochi tree. It was here that she gave birth to her son in peace, and he did go on to fulfill the prophecy and defeated the Anya. But, while he was growing up, Aravera had to stay in the tree, and it was there that she eventually died. Buried forever in its trunk, now Aravera likes to come outside in the shape of a beautiful flower to attract hummingbirds. In this way, she and her husband can stay in touch for eternity. Here is an example of a silk floss flower, formerly known as Ceiba speciosa. Looking at this flower, first we can see that it has 5 pink petals with a flush of yellow at the base. Then, looking at the middle, the stamens are actually fused together to create a tube around the style. You can see where the stamen ends, and there are pollen-filled anthers arranged like a donut around the tube. The style then emerges from the center of the donut. It has a rounded stigma to catch pollen grains. The tree is part of the mallow family, so this explains why the flower structure might be a bit different from what you are used to seeing. The tree is also closely related to the kapok tree, as well as hibiscus flowers. The tree makes these very strange fruits. They look like giant avocados, but then burst open and spread cottony seeds all around the tree. Let's look at how they're created. A tree grows large and blooms. Then a pollinator, like a hummingbird or a bee, comes up and pollinates the flower by dropping pollen onto the stigma. The pollen moves down to the ovary by sending pollen tubes down through the style. When they reach the eggs, they join together and a fruit begins to form. The fruit is technically a capsule. It grows larger and larger and the petals drop off, but you can see that the style and stigma sometimes remain. The green fruit turns brown. It dries out. Then it begins to crack and eventually bursts. It is huge and cottony, and fluffy seeds start to blow away in the wind. Someday, one might land on a nice patch of ground. A mouse comes up to eat it, but is deterred by the cotton around the seed. Finally, with a bit of luck, the seed sprouts and begins to make a new silk floss tree. The silk floss tree was native to South America in regions with cool, dry winters. Now you can find them as ornamentals in California, South Africa, Australia, and northern New Zealand. These beloved showy trees can grow to 60 feet tall and 30 feet wide. People love their flowers and also their bumpy trunks, which originally might have deterred the monkeys of their homeland from climbing their trunk and eating flowers. This trunk is thin-skinned and capable of photosynthesis. Back in the day, people used to use the petal fibers to make cloth, and the fluffy seed fibers became stuffing in pillows and insulated humans against the cold. Now they're mostly ornamentals, like this one here. If you're curious to see more, you can find more silk floss trees around campus. They're located at the main quad, the clock tower, the south side of the post office, Galvez Mall, and even in Parking Structure 1 on Campus Drive in Roth. I hope you enjoyed this brief intro to the marvelous silk floss tree.